Coming up on AgweekTV, with rising gas prices, is more E15 the answer? Corn growers think so. Cattle producers are seeing a heyday. We'll meet some former dairy operators benefiting from the boom.
We take you to LeMars, Iowa for a look at an expanded fertilizer facility.
And some South Dakota ranchers are pitching in to provide hay for cattle producers affected by wildfires. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Emily Beal. Corn growers have been pushing to find a permanent place for E15 at the pump. The ethanol blend would not only help farmers in a down farm economy, but people filling up their tanks as well. I spoke with an expert to learn more.
We see year-round E15 as not only our top legislative priority, but one of the most in-reach opportunities to drive that demand.
Farmers are navigating a tough time in the ag industry, with low commodity prices and high input costs, making different avenues for their crops more important than ever. For corn growers, that makes E15 an attractive outlet for their crop.
America's corn farmers and really farmers of all major row crops are experiencing a really challenging economic time. And so at NCGA, we have been doubling down on demand. And really focused on driving demand for corn and corn products, both here at home and around the world. And that's one of our top priorities. Corn farmers have been at this for a long time. I think that, we have a really strong case to be made, not only in terms of how year-round E15 can help increase demand for ethanol and for corn to help corn farmers in the rural economy, but also how E15 can help, your average American consumer at the pump. It's a cheaper alternative.
While E15 has been close to being passed as a permanent option, the EPA still has to issue an emergency waiver to sell the ethanol blend during the summer months. NCGA is fighting to get E15 to stay at the pumps year-round, without an emergency waiver being needed.
There's so much support within Congress, and I think there's an understanding that, again, this is really good for our country writ large, not just the corn farmer. But we do need a vehicle because Congress has narrow margins in the House and Senate. There aren't a ton of bills that are passed, and often you need to find a vehicle to ride along with if you want your piece of legislation passed. The Farm Bill is one possible vehicle.
The conflict with Iran has pushed gas prices up substantially, highlighting the importance of having domestic alternatives at the pump.
Closure of the Strait of Hormuz and the impact that is having on energy flows and on prices here in the U.S., it really underscores why it's so important to have alternatives or to, have opportunities to drive our own energy independence. And E15 is a perfect example of that.
The EPA issued an emergency waiver last month for 2026, allowing the sales of E15 this summer. Embryo transfer is a process that really took off in the show cattle industry, but has expanded well into the dairy cattle industry. Transova Genetics is a company that does embryo production. They do in vitro fertilization and embryo transfer and offer other things like cloning. Chelsea Abbott, dairy consultant for the company, say these methods have really taken off as people look to better their herds. With in vitro fertilization, producers are able to pick from their best females versus just picking their best bulls.
We've focused on picking the best bulls in the industry for as long as any of us can remember, and now we have the capability to choose from our best females to accomplish that.
Abbott says they see a very good conception rate with their embryos, rivaling AI conception rates. A booming cattle market is bringing optimism to beef producers for the first time in decades. The Ellingson farm near Dahlin, North Dakota was a dairy operation for years, but then pivoted to registered scimitas. As Corey Wenzel found in this week's AgWeek cover story, they're benefiting from the boom.
That's the sound of scimitar cattle. And at the Terry Ellingson Ranch near Dahlin, North Dakota, that sound also heralds calving season, and if the trend continues, it starts another successful year for cattle producers in North Dakota. Ellingson and others in the industry say the cattle market in North Dakota is good. Darn good.
Well, it's probably the highest prices that we've ever seen in my lifetime, probably anybody's lifetime.
Ellingson grew up helping in his family's dairy operation. But as the years passed, the daily rigors of milking convinced Ellingson and his wife, Deanne, to pivot. With advanced degrees in hand, the Holstein herd was sold and the operation took on a new focus: registered Simmental genetics.
And I came back to the farm in 1978, so we've been in the beef part of it since 1990. We had some Holstein cows and some beef cows till then, but in 1990 my wife and I went back to grad school at Virginia Tech, and we exchanged kind of the Holstein herd for a beef herd, and we started raising registered Simmentals, and I thought I was going to come back and milk cows again, and that never happened, so we just continued with the registered Simmental herd, and the rest is history, I guess. In the raising the registered business, I mean, we've always done very well as far as I was concerned, as far as compared to just raising commercial cattle. But there have been times when, I mean, let's face it, expenses get very high, and the cattle prices were pretty lean, and there wasn't much money to be made for the commercial cattlemen. And right now they're enjoying the benefits of this increased price too. So it's really a plus for both ends of the operations.
Last month, North Dakota Ag Commissioner Doug Goring told AgWeek that there are plenty of bright spots in the state's beef industry. There's unprecedented demand for beef, he said, and that's sparking optimism. The market, he believes, has never been this good.
Well, you have to have a passion for it, otherwise you probably don't want to do it. But for the most part, I mean, you cannot beat this way of life. I think the problem with the economy right now and the way things are going, our expenses keep ratcheting up, and we need these high prices in order to make a decent living.
Reporting for AgWeek, I'm Corey Wenzel.
You can read more in the next AgWeek magazine or at agweek.com. Up next on AgweekTV, livestock producers in Minnesota could be getting more help to fight losses from gray wolves.
At Vatterstad, we're partnering with North American farmers to create the perfect emergence. We're doing this with new and innovative tillage, planting, and seeding solutions, optimized for the field conditions that you face, and with industry-leading capacities to help you get the job done in short windows of time, so you can maximize yields. Vatterstad, we look forward to growing together.
To me, being part of community means being part of something bigger than yourself.
How we doing?
It's being there for your neighbors on good days and on bad days. I've been a volunteer fireman for 24 years, and I've been a field adjuster with FMNE since 2016. I've had the unique perspective of seeing people at their most vulnerable. In those times, you want to do anything possible to help. I'm proud to be part of a company that's dedicated to service.
Spray Advantage is a full-line, full-service dealer with everything you need for fertilizer and chemical applications, like electronics from Microtrack and Raven, pumps by Banjo and John Blue, a full line of poly parts, tanks, and spray tips. We support the equipment we sell with factory-trained service technicians and a well-stocked parts department. It's our commitment to offer you quality products at competitive prices with the best financing options available. Spray Advantage, proudly serving North Dakota and Minnesota.
Struggling with high pH or salty soils? Your yield doesn't have to. Calcine is a breakthrough soil amendment designed to restore soil health and revitalize crops. It helps balance pH, improve germination and emergence, and remediation of salty soils.
Calcine has always shown an exceptional ability to bring salty soils back to health, and it continues to provide a more balanced pH environment for both germination and emergence.
Call Erickson Custom Operations at 701-371-7184.
As your farm evolves, so do the challenges that come with it. At Superior Grain Equipment, our systems are built to make your job easier and help your grain reach its full potential. From gentle drying to durable storage, get the flexibility to market your grain on your time. Superior Grain Equipment, proven solutions to help you grow.
The Minnesota Senate is considering more money for producers with livestock losses from wolves and elk. For years, the legislature has funded compensation for livestock injured or killed by predators. This year, it's considering funding for non-lethal means like fencing, alarms, or guard dogs. Minnesota is home to the largest wolf population in the lower 48, but the wolf is listed as threatened, so it's illegal to kill them. Minnesota State Cattlemen's Executive Director Caitlin Root supports attempts to beef up the funds.
So much more goes into the effects of wolf depredation than just the actual physical loss of a calf. Elk depredation presents similar challenges. Farmers and ranchers face crop losses, stored hay and feed losses, and fence destruction. All of these issues are leading to frustrations with recurring damage and tension around wildlife damage.
The Minnesota Senate bills were laid over for possible inclusion in an omnibus bill. A fertilizer facility in LeMars, Iowa has undergone a big expansion. Ariana Schumacher traveled down there to learn more.
LeMars Agri Center has been providing feed, agronomy, grain, fertilizer, and seed sales in northwestern Iowa since 1998. This year, they opened a new, larger fertilizer facility.
Our original fertilizer building was built back in the 1960s. We were in dire need of a new fertilizer building. Our other one had been used and reused and was rusty, and it had served its purpose.
This new facility has a holding capacity 5 times larger than their old facility.
We knew we needed to make a commitment if we were going to stay in the agronomy business.
The building holds around 5,500 tons of fertilizer and is almost fully automated.
Each of the scales behind me hold individual ingredients. They all have weigh scales on them, so they're all INTEP certified, so we no longer have to weigh the trucks going to the field. It's all sellable weights when we mix it.
Right now, higher fertilizer prices have been on customers' minds.
Obviously, with the war going on, it's been a real challenge, mainly on the nitrogen market. However, this week now the phosphate market has taken off. It's been a struggle. Margins are tight. Farmers are looking for ways to cut corners. We're trying to make the best agronomic choices we can, and hopefully this nitrogen market levels off here.
There are some concerns that with rising fertilizer prices, sales could go down slightly.
Well, yes, you always run that risk that, yes, there are going to be some cutbacks, but overall, they're not drastic. I mean, maybe 10% or something, but overall, not a huge cutback by most farmers.
In LeMars, Iowa, this is Ariana Schumacher for AgWeek.
The next few weeks will be the busiest time for hauling fertilizer. Ahead on AgweekTV, South Dakota ranchers are pitching in to provide hay for cattle producers affected by wildfires.
At Bank North, we strive to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. One transaction, one relationship, and one community at a time. We do it by supporting kids and schools, pitching in to help neighbors in need, partnering with rural businesses, and providing all the traditional and modern banking products and personalized lending services you expect from a reliable financial partner. Bank North, always true.
What One Stop Shop means to us at North Star Ag is we have a fully staffed service department, fully stocked parts department, as well as the sales department. We're also very mobile. We have service trucks that we can also meet you on the farm. You can have a piece of equipment that you're not really sure what you want to buy. You can come to us at North Star Ag. We can really show you enough selection, have enough knowledge, and have enough price points where you feel good about walking out with your purchase that day.
That's best to have come in for an uptime, that way you don't have downtime later. For every hour that they're down, that costs them money. Fuel cost, the wages for their hired guys. If they don't get out there at the right time, their crop's too dry, it starts falling off, they start losing their bushels, they start losing money in a sense. You're literally just throwing money on the ground. So their time is precious and crucial, so they'd hate to have the downtime because they have to be out there and get it done as fast as possible. You put a lot of time into an uptime inspection. You know, it could take 10 to 12 hours to thoroughly inspect a machine to make sure that
Attention farmers, increase your revenue and prevent compaction from squeezing your profits with PTG's Central Tire Inflation System, now offered at OK Tire and Service. All controlled from the tips of your fingers, ensuring increased yield and improved fuel economy by adjusting your tire pressure within minutes. You are ensuring the best performance from your tractor on the field and off the field, compatible with any radial tire. Call the OK Tire team today or visit oktireinc.com to learn more.
Add more bushels to your hopper and money to your pocket by harnessing the power of air with Crary Wind Systems. Whether your beans are chest high or barely off the ground, Crary offers two solutions that add a constant stream of high-velocity air to quickly feed crop back to the auger, eliminating bunching, reducing shatter loss, and increasing your ground speed. Don't let crop conditions dictate your yield. Check out the Crary Air Reel or Crary Wind System today.
What will the weather have in store for us as we head into the heart of April? Here's Lydia with our AgriWeather Outlook.
As we get to mid-April, inching around the corner to late April, we can start tallying up how much snow we saw over the course of winter. Now, of course, we can still get a little bit of snow in our part of the world, but I thought we would look at where we stand so far. Grand Forks takes the cake at 65.3 inches of snow this winter. Aberdeen at 52.5. St. Cloud, Minnesota, a little over 40 inches, which is exactly 1 inch more than the Fargo reading at 40.3 inches. Sioux Falls, South Dakota at 30.4, and Rapid City, not a lot, 17.9 inches of snow. Some spots in North Dakota saw 17.9 inches in one swoop at the beginning of April. So then you compare that to normal. Grand Forks, Aberdeen, well above the normal mark for what is considered normal for how much snow you pick up during the winter months. Everybody else below average. And you take a peek at Rapid City there, more than 2 feet behind normal on snowpack. Hence the reason they've seen a lot of the fire danger as we've gone throughout late winter and into early spring. So when you don't have a lot of snow on the ground anymore, a lot of us have done some good melting. That helps to warm your temperature up quicker, especially where the ground, the dirt, is a little bit darker. I thought we would look at when is our average last frost, because we're getting there. Spring fever is getting there. Planting season is around the corner. And so frost dates are, of course, important. In Fargo, the average last frost, meaning 32 degrees or colder, comes on May 9th. Grand Forks, not until May 11th. May 9th is kind of a popular date. That's also the date for Aberdeen and St. Cloud, Minnesota. Sioux Falls, May 3rd, so that's only a couple of weeks away for your average last frost. Rapid City at May 13th. We are looking at some warmer weather here as we go into the latter parts of April, with above average temperatures kind of right through the middle of the country. Big ridge in the jet stream building in, and that will allow us to warm up a little bit more. I see more normal temperatures, if not slightly below, as we round out the month. This now takes us all the way to the end of April. Normal being in the 50s to near 60s, South Dakota, southern Minnesota, 40s to near 50, further up into northern Minnesota and North Dakota. We are sending our cool air from this weekend off to the east, and watch that ridge, that big bump, the mild air in the jet stream build its way in and sit in the middle of the country as we go throughout the next week or so. This is what's really going to get some of that spring fever flowing. If you look out to the west and northwest, though, this guy is making a run back toward us, and into next weekend, temperatures are likely to drop a little bit more. As for precip chances, I'm noticing a pattern here where the jet stream is lining up in a diagonal pattern from the southwest to the northeast, from about Texas, Louisiana, up through almost the Great Lakes. That's where we'll really watch out for some severe weather. That, of course, kind of clips the Corn Belt. We have near normal to slightly above precip chances here as we go into the latter parts of April, meaning we'll watch out for some rain showers. Could mix in a little snow at times.
If you're thinking about upgrading dryers, which I think in today's world where there's so much more corn around to get a hold of advanced grain, we were able to cover for 20% more acres and probably 20% less time this year, mostly due to the dryer.
Our combines ran longer and harder than they've ever run in the past because we actually had the capacity in the dryer. We're Jason and Justin Topp, and we would highly recommend advanced grain handling for any of your grain dryer needs.
Attention farmers, increase your revenue and prevent compaction from squeezing your profits with PTG's Central Tire Inflation System, now offered at OK Tire and Service. All controlled from the tips of your fingers, ensuring increased yield and improved fuel economy by adjusting your tire pressure within minutes. You are ensuring the best performance from your tractor on the field and off the field, compatible with any radial tire. Call the OK Tire team today or visit oktireinc.com to learn more.
At Vatterstad, we're partnering with North American farmers to create the perfect emergence. We're doing this with new and innovative tillage, planting, and seeding solutions, optimized for the field conditions that you face, and with industry-leading capacities to help you get the job done in short windows of time, so you can maximize yields. Vatterstad, we look forward to growing together.
Farming is more than just a job. It's a way of life. It's your hard work, your investment, your future. At Superior Grain Equipment, we're here to protect it all. From durable grain storage to gentle drying and handling solutions. We build systems designed to last, and we stand by you with service and support every step of the way. Superior Grain Equipment, proven solutions to help you grow.
To me, being part of community means being part of something bigger than yourself.
How we doing?
It's being there for your neighbors on good days and on bad days. I've been a volunteer fireman for 24 years, and I've been a field adjuster with FMNE since 2016. I've had the unique perspective of seeing people at their most vulnerable. In those times, you want to do anything possible to help. I'm proud to be part of a company that's dedicated to service.
Wildfires continue to burn in Nebraska, and cattlemen in South Dakota are helping ranchers in the fire's path. South Dakota Cattlemen's Foundation launched the Cattlemen Helping Cattlemen effort. The organization matched community donations up to $10,000 to help cover the fuel costs for transporting hay from South Dakota to ranchers in Nebraska. Ariana Schumacher has more.
Jarrett Knox is a cattle, sheep, hog, and crop producer near Willow Lake, South Dakota. He's on the South Dakota Cattlemen's Foundation board and is helping with the Cattlemen Helping Cattlemen effort.
We really truly believe, as most people do, that cattlemen across the country are neighbors, even if we're separated by hundreds or even thousands of miles. And so hearing about, knowing about what many people, some we know, some we don't, are dealing with the almost 1 million acres of wildfire in Nebraska is just heartbreaking and devastating for us.
Many of the South Dakota Cattlemen's affiliates have offered to donate hay, fencing supplies, and other things. But it can be tricky getting all of those items down to Nebraska.
But a lot of us have never tried to ship a load of hay to Nebraska across state lines, deal with those regulations. Many of us, even if we have a semi, maybe wouldn't trust it to put it on the road 500 miles away when we're typically hauling hay just a few miles away from our fields back to the home place.
That's why this funding is critical to help cover some of the logistics of these donations.
The funding of the fuel, because fuel's gone up a little bit, and getting trucks that are certified to go across state lines. And so we thought the best way that we could help our individual members, individual affiliates across the state would be to offer a fund pool that just kind of covers some of those costs.
Shortly after announcing that they would match donations, the South Dakota Cattlemen's Foundation had already reached their goal, but donations continue to come in.
So been, overwhelmed by the really instant response from people stepping up to make sure that we reach that goal and help to get supplies to those that are in need right now today.
In Willow Lake, South Dakota, this is Ariana Schumacher for AgWeek.
Even though the matching goal has been met, they are still accepting donations. If you're interested in donating, you can find more information at the website listed on your screen. Still ahead on AgweekTV, a freezer as big as a house is donated to help feed the hungry.
Struggling with high pH or salty soils? Your yield doesn't have to. Calcine is a breakthrough soil amendment designed to restore soil health and revitalize crops. It helps balance pH, improve germination and emergence, and remediation of salty soils.
Calcine has always shown an exceptional ability to bring salty soils back to health, and it continues to provide a more balanced pH environment for both germination and emergence.
Call Erickson Custom Operations at 701-371-7184.
Partnership is a way of life here in the Northland. It's about pitching in to help our neighbors, making lending decisions locally, honoring long-term commitments to farmers, Main Street businesses, teams, schools, and rural communities. We're more than just a bank. We're a community partner working constantly and diligently to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. Bank North, always true.
What one-stop shop means to us at North Star Ag is we have a fully staffed service department, fully stocked parts department, as well as the sales department. We're also very mobile. We have service trucks that we can also meet you on the farm. You can have a piece of equipment that you're not really sure what you want to buy. You can come to us at North Star Ag. We can really show you enough selection, have enough knowledge, and have enough price points where you feel good about walking out with your purchase that day.
The Prairie Revolution Ditcher is the new standard for surface water management. The Revolution Ditcher leaves a smooth finished 5-foot flat bottom cut and cuts up to 10 inches in one pass. Throw dirt in either direction, up to 165 feet. Now with the hydraulic cross auger to break up dirt and keep you working faster. Check out the Revolution Ditcher at Crary.com.
Spray Advantage is a full-line, full-service dealer with everything you need for fertilizer and chemical applications, like electronics from Microtrack and Raven, pumps by Banjo and John Blue, a full line of poly parts, tanks, and spray tips. We support the equipment we sell with factory-trained service technicians and a well-stocked parts department. It's our commitment to offer you quality products at competitive prices with the best financing options available. Spray Advantage, proudly serving North Dakota and Minnesota.
A massive walk-in freezer now has a new home, helping to fight rural hunger. Fairchild Equipment's Moorhead, Minnesota location used to house the 1,500 square foot freezer when Schwann's company occupied the building. But instead of selling the freezer, Fairchild Equipment wanted to find a way to make it useful to the community.
Guys were just sitting around in the building, out in the shop, because it was huge, wondering what we're going to do with this big thing in the middle of the shop. And Van, he's our president, he just decided, oh, let's reach out to some food banks. And they got a hold of a few, and Great Plains got back to them and said they're very interested.
Great Plains Food Bank was thrilled about the donation, but did not have enough room for it at their Fargo location. One of their partners, the North Dakota Rural Electric Cooperatives Foundation, did have room for the freezer. The foundation is using it at one of their grocery hubs, which is helping to fight rural hunger. The donated freezer will allow more whole, fresh foods to be readily available to people in the area.
I mean, we're just grateful for Fairchild Equipment's donation and recognizing that this is a big need, that infrastructure is costly, and their in-kind donation made a big benefit for our partners. And we're grateful for the initiative that they're working on progressing hunger at its core, hunger at its root, where people don't always realize that as a food bank, we're here to address day-to-day needs. We're here to get food out, which is very important.
The walk-in freezer has a value of $75,000. Stories you'll only see on AgWeek.com and in AgWeek magazine this week. Planting has now begun in all the states in the region, including North Dakota. And the Minnesota legislature is considering a bill that would keep prime farmland from being used for things like energy generation. We appreciate you watching AgWeek TV. Remember to check us out daily on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up on all your ag news. Have a wonderful week, everyone.